All right, today we're throwing two absolute titans of the poultry world into the ring for a high-stakes showdown. We're going to figure out which of these incredible giant chicken breeds actually rules the roost when it comes to your bottom line.
And yeah, that really is the question, isn't it? Because a crazy high price tag doesn't always mean a profitable business. So, we're pitting the Dong Tao with its elite luxury meat against the Brahma, famous for its non-stop egg production, to see which giant truly reigns supreme.
Okay, so let's get right to it. It's time to meet the magnificent contenders at the center of our showdown.
In one corner, we have the Dong Tao, also known as the dragon chicken. This bird is all about its status as a high-end luxury meat. And in the other corner, the majestic Brahma, the gentle giant, whose whole game is pumping out a massive volume of eggs. Two giants, two completely different playbooks.
Let's talk about the money you need just to get started. You know, every business needs some startup capital. But as you're about to see, the price to even get in the game with these two is, well, it's worlds apart. This is round one, the upfront investment.
Whoa, yeah, you're seeing that right. $2,500. And just so we're clear, that's not for a whole flock or anything. That's the potential price for one single high-quality Dong Tao breeding pair. Now, a top-tier Brahma pair is also a premium buy for sure, but it's usually just a fraction of this cost. The Dong Tao starts in a completely different league.
So you're probably asking, why on earth is it so expensive? Well, it's that classic economic lesson, right? Supply and demand. There just aren't that many purebred Dong Taos out there right now, creating this massive scarcity. At the same time, you've got serious collectors and breeders who will pay a huge premium to get their hands on guaranteed, authentic genetics.
Okay, but anyone who's ever raised an animal knows that purchase price is just the tip of the iceberg. Round two is all about the ongoing expenses, the cost of feeding these massive birds and getting them to full power.
And this is where it gets really interesting for your wallet. The Dong Tao, man, it takes its sweet time to grow. That means you're just pouring feed and money into it for a lot longer before you ever see any kind of return. The Brahma, on the other hand, it has a much more predictable and steady growth rate, which gives you a clearer and quicker path to potential profit.
You know, in agriculture, there's this key number called the feed conversion ratio. It's super simple, really. It just tells you how much feed it takes to produce 1 pound of body mass. A lower number is always better, and for a slowpoke grower like the Dong Tao, that ratio is a huge factor in your final costs.
Now, here's a cost that doesn't care which corner you're in. It hits both of these giants, and it hits them hard. Because they're so big and heavy, you can't just toss them standard chicken feed. Both of these breeds need a specialized, high-protein diet to support their huge frames and, this is critical, to prevent serious leg problems. It's a non-negotiable premium expense.
All right, we've talked about all the money going out. Let's get to the fun part, the money coming in. For round three, we're going to follow the money and see how each of these birds actually generates revenue.
And wow, just look at this. This chart tells you almost everything you need to know about the Brahma's game plan. The difference in egg production is just, it's not even close. The Brahma is an absolute egg-laying powerhouse, while the Dong Tao is famously tricky to breed and has a super low yield. It makes the path to profit for each bird crystal clear.
So what does that mean for your business? Well, Brahmas are incredibly reliable layers, even in the winter. This lets you sell fertile hatching eggs to that huge, booming market of backyard homesteaders. This isn't a lottery ticket. It's a consistent, predictable, steady paycheck.
But the Dong Tao? Oh, it's playing a totally different sport. Forget steady income. We are talking about one massive, high-risk, high-reward payout from selling a single, mature bird for its meat.
So where does that crazy price tag come from? It's because this isn't just chicken. It's a luxury item. In some super high-end restaurants and very niche markets, Dong Tao meat is like the caviar of poultry, and it commands prices you just don't see anywhere else. This is all about selling very few birds for a very, very high profit.
But hang on, before you start dreaming of those big paydays, you got to remember the hidden costs. Both breeds need a serious investment in their housing, but the Dong Tao is way more sensitive, so things like climate control can become a major ongoing expense that can chew right through those big profit margins.
Okay, so we've looked at the startup costs, the fee bills, and the two totally different ways they make money. Let's bring it all together. What's the final verdict on profitability?
This chart here, our tail of the tape, really lays it all out, doesn't it?
You've got the Dong Tao, crazy high initial cost, a high-risk, high-reward model built on luxury meat. It's for a very specialized business. Then you have the Brahma, more accessible to start, with a steady, consistent income from fertile eggs, which is perfect if you're running a high-volume hatchery. The better business model really just depends on your goals and how much risk you can stomach.
And so that's the big question we're leaving with you. Which of these giants would fit on your farm? Are you looking for that reliable, steady earner? Or are you willing to roll the dice on the high-stakes luxury gamble? Because at the end of the day, the most profitable giant isn't about which bird is better, it's about which business model is the right fit for you.